The studio lights were bright, but not brighter than the truth that was about to shatter millions of expectations. In the first row, a silent audience leaned forward, sensing something electric in the air. Tyrus, calm but razor-focused, adjusted his mic. AOC, fiery and confident, crossed her arms, certain she could control the narrative like always. But she didn't know. Tonight wasn't going to be like the other nights. Tonight, someone wasn't afraid to push back. Tonight, the truth was going to roar louder than the applause. And when it did, AOC's reaction would shake the entire country. The show, America Unfiltered, was notorious for hosting the biggest debates in politics, but tonight the tension felt heavier than usual, almost like the air itself knew a storm was coming. Tyrus took his seat with the composure of a man who had nothing to hide. AOC joined, smiling politely for the cameras, her posture confident. She was used to controlling every conversation, turning criticism into applause with clever words and emotional appeals. But what she didn't expect was that someone had brought receipts. As the cameras went live, the host greeted both guests and opened the floor for discussion on government spending, economic strain, and the promises politicians make but rarely keep. AOC began with her usual flair, passionate, intense, deeply rehearsed. The people deserve honesty, she declared. They deserve leaders who fight for them, who deliver on their promises. Tyrus lifted a finger. Speaking of promises, let's talk about a few. The audience murmured. AOC's smile stiffened. Tyrus calmly placed a stack of printed documents on the table. The cameras zoomed in. These, he said, tapping the papers, are the reports showing every promise made, and how many were followed through. He paused. Let's start with the most basic one, transparency. AOC shifted. Her eyes narrowed slightly, but she stayed quiet. Tyrus continued. While you went on national TV claiming full transparency, these documents show you privately backed a proposal you publicly opposed. The audience gasped. Even the host blinked, unsure how to react. AOC leaned forward. That's taken out of context. Tyrus didn't raise his voice. He didn't get emotional. He simply picked up another paper. Then let's add the context. He read the timestamps, the meetings, the emails she denied ever having. Every line landed like a hammer on stone. AOC's voice raised. This is misleading. This is a personal attack. It's your record, Tyrus said firmly. Not mine. Suddenly, AOC erupted. Her voice shook with anger as she stood up from her chair. You're twisting facts. You're lying. This is a smear campaign. But the audience didn't clap this time. They didn't cheer. They simply watched. Confused, surprised, disappointed. Tyrus leaned back in his chair, calm as ever. Look, he said, speaking not just to her, but to every viewer watching from home, people aren't stupid. They know when they're being played. They know when someone is selling them big words with nothing real behind them. AOC inhaled deeply, trying to regain control. This is political theater. You're attacking me because I fight for the people. Tyrus shook his head calmly. No, I'm exposing the gap between what you say and what you do. Silence filled the room, the kind of silence that only appears right before a wall collapses. What happened next surprised everyone. A woman in the audience, middle-aged, tired eyes, quiet strength, stood up. Can I say something? She asked. The host nodded. My family believed in you, she said to AOC. We believed everything you promised. But we're still struggling. We're still waiting. And hearing this tonight, her voice cracked. It hurts. AOC's face softened. For a moment, she didn't have a rebuttal. The woman continued, tears forming. We don't need perfect leaders. We just need honest ones. Tyrus looked down. Even he felt the weight of her words. AOC tried to respond, but her voice trembled. I do care. I really do. Things are harder than they look. But that's why, the woman said gently, you must be real with us. Not just loud. The show ended with no shouting, no victory dances, no smug smirks. Instead, it ended with something far more powerful. Accountability. AOC left the stage quickly, avoiding cameras, clearly shaken. Tyrus stayed behind, not as a man who won, but as someone who simply spoke the truth. After the cameras turned off, the audience left the studio with a strange heaviness. The kind that comes after seeing behind the curtain for the first time. In a world full of polished speeches and picture-perfect promises, truth is the rarest currency. And sometimes, it takes just one person with courage, one voice that won't be silenced, to remind millions that honesty still matters. This story isn't about left or right. It's not about who you support. It's about something deeper. Leaders must serve the people, not their image. And the people must demand truth, not theatrics. Because when the truth finally stands tall, even the loudest lies fall silent.